Hey, welcome to Mindful Monday. I'm so fucking happy to have you here. Welcome. I'm excited about Mindful Mondays because I've made a commitment to myself to make sure that I get this out every Monday. And it can be a challenge sometimes, right? I mean, things can pop up in our lives that just make things a little more difficult. Let me kind of explain what I'm talking about. So, not this weekend, but the weekend before, I was in a fucking flow state for work. And, you kind of are like, I shouldn't really work on weekends. I should rest, right? But I was feeling it. Like, shit was getting done and it was exciting. I was enjoying myself, being super creative and like excited. I couldn't put my computer down. Everything was flowing like so smoothly. And then the week rolls around and it was kind of like things kept popping up. Things like out of the ordinary that were taking me away from work just came out of the woodwork. But not only that, about something came up Tuesday, right? And then immediately after that, it was like, gosh, I don't feel fucking motivated to do anything. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have worked all weekend because I feel like a huge lack of motivation and I got kind of behind a little bit. And then I started doing the whole thing where you torture yourself like, shit, I have no motivation. Maybe I shouldn't have worked. So a couple of days I was like not feeling it. You know what I mean? Well, me and my husband were driving to the gym yesterday and we kind of started talking about how we both sort of felt the same way. And we talk together a lot about staying balanced and trying to focus on making happiness a big part of, like, that's the most important part of your day is how you can be happy. And we were like, maybe we shouldn't have worked all weekend. And then I thought about it and I was like, but we were having fun. Both of us were in that flow state and we got so much done. And I actually think we both came up with this idea that maybe it's okay that your work week one week is going to be Saturday through Wednesday or Saturday through Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. Why do we torture ourselves with these narratives that we've been told that you work Monday through Friday, and if you don't follow that narrative, you like second guess yourself and you feel bad. It's kind of like when you normally go to the gym 5 days a week and something takes you away from that and you slightly torture yourself. They're like, my gym routine's falling apart because I didn't make it to the gym. So I would like to challenge you to be very curious about yourself and talk these things out with yourself, with a partner, with a friend, making happiness the most important part of your day, but also understanding it is okay to challenge narratives that we've been told. Maybe work doesn't have to be done Monday through Friday. And you have to balance it, right? Because if you have orders coming in, of course those need to be filled. And there will be priorities that come up, but maybe you understand that you can take care of those and then pull back a little bit because you worked all weekend. But making happiness a like the most important thing in your life. But how do you do that, right? It can be really hard when you don't know how to do that. But I think it starts with challenging narratives challenging these things that we've been told we have to do, and then we feel guilty if we don't do them. No, you still can be productive and change that around. But another thing, if you're in a really shitty job that you hate, challenge that narrative of being told, well, you need to stay there till you retire. And maybe it's okay to take a look at that and be like, I would be very happy in this different type of job. And this is going to be different everywhere. Maybe you can be happy where you're at, and it's a mindset shift that is the only thing that needs to be done. Everybody's going to be different, but let's get curious about where we can where we can make changes to like be happy as fuck, and challenge narratives and take a look at if it is another job that's going to make you really happy. Like if you really don't like the people that you work with and you don't like what you do, and it's that this place is not serving you. So maybe you can't leave right now, but maybe you can work towards being able to have a job that would make you happy. And maybe if you're working towards that, you would like get fucking excited. So how do you move towards that? Well, whatever this job is that you want, start investigating what you need to know, what knowledge you need to have, what education you need. Because let me tell you, it's possible to obtain positions without fully having the educational background or the experience they want. And I'm living proof of that. I've done it twice in my life. Let me tell you the first story. I was I quit this terrible job at, at a travel agency. I was miserable there. I was an operations manager. I basically was running the company because the owner had gotten ill, and he was like a very dysfunctional person to work for. The job was just like I was working even when I went home. I had a cell phone on my hip and it was sucking my soul. I was constantly busy. There was no like there was nothing fulfilling about it, although I do have to say I did enjoy the people that most of the people I worked with. There was a lot of complaining, a lot of turnover, because when you first came in as the travel agent, you started at minimum wage, and it actually was like a very like intense training process. So getting these people trained and then having them quit, like there was a lot involved, and the customers were like there wasn't a big motivation of customer service at this company. It was all about the high mighty dollar, which just didn't resonate with me. So I hated it there. I was unhappy. So I finally got the balls to quit after 8 years. It was actually like hard to do and freeing at the same time. I had little kids at home that I had to feed, and I know that you can relate with this feeling. I talked with my partner at the time, who was is my ex-husband, and he was semi-supportive, but not like super supportive because I was the breadwinner of the household. I made more money, and it made him nervous too, which is kind of understandable. But when you have someone this miserable, anyway, I quit and I didn't have a job. We could pay rent and we could eat, but I needed to get a job right away. So I I knew a friend and she got me a job selling insurance. And literally they sat me in a room and taught me nothing. And I think a lot of people would love this job and be able to do this sort of thing, but I'm someone who needs to work. Like I can't just sit in a room. So I started looking for jobs, and I actually found this job as a claims adjuster, and they wanted you to have a bachelor's degree, and I didn't have one. And I began taking claims classes, just delving in, finding out everything I needed to know about this job, which you needed to know about construction, you needed to know about insurance laws, claims. I dove in and learned everything, and then I became a claims adjuster. I worked so hard on every question they might ask me in that interview. I was over prepared. I was the Michael Jordan of how could I get this job, and nothing was going to stop me. So you can do this. If you're passionate about some career that you feel would make you fucking happy, dive in, become the Michael Jordan of how you can obtain that job, and don't let anything stand in your way. You got this, and you can make sacrifices and go for it. You can become knowledgeable, and there's Chat GPT, there's Google, there's so much skill on the internet now. We can do almost anything. Become skilled at this, and then go get this job. And this is just one example of how you can go for shit that's going to make you happy, but also while you're in this miserable job, shifting your mindset of going, I don't have to stay here. I'm working towards this exciting job that's going to fulfill me and make me happy and make me happy. I don't really want to use that as a term because I believe we can be happy with ourselves, but I know until we get to that point, it's it's difficult to like understand that we are responsible for our own happiness. But my channel is all about that, and we'll get to that too. Today is just about Mindset Mondays, and that's what I just would like to challenge you to think about is get super curious about yourself. Think about what will make you happy and putting that in the forefront of your day. And when you wake up, if you start to have negative thoughts, just be intentional about setting happiness to be the most important part of your day. And if a negative thought comes up, you can say to yourself, is this is this benefiting me towards being happy today? And just start challenging those thoughts that you're having, challenging narratives that we have, because we can break beyond those, and I'm living proof. Anyway, this is Mindset Monday. I can't wait to see you next time. I love you guys and have a great week.